What?
Wait,
You're up.
What am I doing?
Wait.
does this count as a Hey DM thing?
Yes.
Yes.
Hi, DM.
Hi, DM. Hey,
What?
DM. Hey!
This is uncomfortable for me.
Yeah,
Not you.
it me.
Wait, no, sorry. No,
fine.
wait. Can you do your Monty accent?
For the whole thing?
No, just right now, because I've never actually seen you before, so like...
It's me!
Can I just do my entire character in Monty's voice?
No!
It's me!
My character will shoot you.
Oh, bloody hell. Like,
Are you okay?
And I think our
Did I
characters may
hurt
actually
you?
be able to take each other in a fight. That's the scary thing.
Good.
okay, so it's Rhys here, your normal DM. Today I am playing at the table. We've got our wonderful people around us, our wonderful players, and DMing for today and the rest of this campaign. Please welcome back our special guest, Hunter, otherwise known as the voice of Monty.
Hello. I'm not doing the Monty voice the whole time. That'll kill me. I could barely do it for like 3 hours.
I don't think if you did it, I wouldn't be able to respond at all.
Yeah, no, it'd be like, roll for initiative.
I rolled a 4! And I don't care!
Oh my god!
Oh shit.
Okay,
I can't get my sweater off, guys.
Energy break.
okay, I guess we're just... What are we doing? You're the one
You
in charge.
just
I don't
want
know
to
what
go
I'm doing.
around and introduce It's like an AA meeting. Fun
Hi,
facts.
Hunter.
I think it might be better to do that as we meet each other.
Yeah.
Okay,
if
yeah, we can do that.
Just as we
Sure.
meet each other, we describe what we look
Fine.
like and
It's
stuff
not like I
that.
got ready for it or anything.
So,
It's not like I just flipped through all my character
I'm
sheets
sorry,
for it.
Are you just
not like I'm
saying
getting
a
ready
bar
to
and this
read.
guy's just like,
Okay.
that's fine. I'm
Fucking
not gonna
fine.
introduce
I
myself
don't give
to
two
this
shits.
void.
It's not like I've got anything important here, right?
It is a mess.
so
What's a mess?
my life.
Me.
Danny, did you bring the...
Yes, I did. Hold on.
This is Hey DM behind the scenes. Oh,
Danny, did you bring the weed?
Oh, I'm catching a pretzel. I'm
You failed.
Oh, we didn't announce... Do we have a name for this version of it?
Do we?
I did, but nobody listened when I tried to ask them if they liked it.
What?
Just saying, it's ours now.
Hey DM Arcana.
Yeah.
But why is it specifically called Arcana? Sorry. Danny
mean,
Wells from the
one
New York
Magic.
Times. Where...
The one I
exactly.
offered
I don't
last
know.
time was Hey DM and the DM joins the fray.
Maybe, except that would be
It's long.
mine
That's
as well.
Yeah.
The DM joins the fray. Times 2.
The sequel.
KDM, except it's slightly more disappointing this time.
I like that one.
You can't get...
We'll do
more
our
disappointing.
we'll
No,
do
this one's
Arcana.
already
If
not disappointing.
You need to stop drinking
Got
as you
you.
guys talk.
Please.
you
know
shouldn't
my
be
list.
drinking
Stop
at all.
drinking in general. This is your intervention. We're not actually going to play D&D.
This is our D&D
We're
AA
just,
meeting.
we made it all up. We're
We
here
made
to cure your
characters and everything so we
crippling
can have an
alcoholism.
AA meeting in game.
Yeah.
It's the only way we could get you to listen.
Hunter hasn't seen my true form yet.
Oh no.
That's an entire jug of orange. No, apple juice.
That's
Not
apple-
orange
those
juice.
are apples.
I
It's
saw
not-
the apples.
Those are
I,
apples.
I said apples
It's
in
my
my
favorite
head, and
fruit,
then it went
the red orange.
We're not sponsored by apple juice.
Sponsored by Red Oranges.
Speak for yourself. I'm sponsored by orange juice.
Y'all stop drinking.
Sorry.
Anyways, I think
other-
we're supposed to be doing
Other
stuff right now,
fruits
right?
are available.
Okay.
I don't even know where our characters are right now.
Yes,
That's
please.
I think we're in an
continue.
inn in a city.
All I know is that we made
That's
die
a
today.
port.
Probably.
I don't know. Okay.
Let our DM speak.
So,
I was
thanks.
speaking.
So,
Not that one.
oh, what's that? What? I can't hear you over the sound of you dying horribly.
It's fine. I'll just drown it out with the choir singing Cassian's doing in the phylactery.
So,
I'm still salty about that.
not my fault you got arrested
We are.
by a lich.
I
Yes,
walked out
we have a
fucking
map.
doorway.
We have a map.
Oh, darn
Show
it.
everybody where we are on the map. Beautifully, originally drafted by me and then made far superior.
Wait. Can you bring it over?
Yeah,
I didn't add your thing on.
No, it's fine. But I do want to...
It's at full brightness.
Nah, you don't get to see mine, buddy.
I know it is,
Ooh.
but...
Well, then why are you asking?
Stop it.
If you're
I'm
listening to
showing you
this,
how to
congratulations on
Look how close
subscribing
you are.
and getting the
Is that gonna
primo
be a problem?
I don't know what-
introductory session. The next 40 minutes will
We
be
should
us
probably cut this
setting
in
up.
post.
But
And I was
Good luck with that.
The next 40 minutes will be them arguing about a map.
yeah, you can skip to the last 5 minutes when we actually play.
Yeah.
If you'd like to hear more arguing about a map, please like, comment, and subscribe.
This will continue on for the next 5
This will
hours.
continue on eventually when we are all
I want to eat
free
my Reese's
again.
Pieces, but at the same
Okay.
time, if I eat my Reese's Pieces, I can't talk.
Oh my god.
That is Dylan clicking.
I know hush pulse over the crowd.
Continue.
So,
Continue,
all
you mean
know-
start.
you've all seen the map. You all know where you are on the map.
No.
You're in a decent sized city. You're in a decent sized city. There's all kinds of things. This world, lovingly named Eartham, is it's very close with the Feywild in some areas. Lots of portals and such. And in certain major cities, people can just kind of come and go as they please. It's like, oh, you need to go to Sobeys? Not sponsored. Hop into the Feywild for a minute. They got the best deals.
Yes, that's
Sobeys
what
is
the
only
Feywild is
available in the
full of.
Feywild.
Yeah, Sobeys only in Feywild.
Fantasy Sobies.
Fantasy Sobeys, that's it.
Only available in the Feywild. Brought
It's
to you
pronounced
by,
Sobeys. The fantasy Sobeys is
But the-
Sobeys.
But the
Sorbet.
Sobeys.
Sorbet. So,
Sorbet.
this is what the
Sorbet.
courts actually war over: who owns the Sobeys.
yes. So,
Fantasy Sobies.
yeah,
Sorbet.
who owns the
Fantasy
rights to
Sobeys and
Fantasy
Fantasy
Sobeys?
Safeway.
Yeah, there's a
It's a
lot
rival
of
grocery
dispute.
store.
There's a lot of
Wow.
dispute as to whether or not
Safeway.
Fey Sobeys or real Sobeys is like the honest to goodness Sobeys. That's a topic of hot debate in the Supreme Court. The city you guys are in is called Vanguard. It's on like the northern coast of this big old continent.
Yay.
And you guys, what
Okay.
y'all doing? You're dead. Congratulations, the end.
Oh, the end.
Gonna go home. What y'all up to?
I don't know where we
I
are.
don't fucking know.
It's
Bar.
a city. Bar?
Yeah.
You're at a bar.
I'm at a bar.
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 We're
You're at a bar
probably
too.
all at the inn, I guess.
Bar in.
Bar.
Me and Dylan have probably grabbed the room a couple of days ago, and we've just been asking around, and at this point, we've given up because nothing is coming out of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are asking around. Lots of people are rude. Get out of here, nerd. You met a homeless guy once. He has one leg. He hops around.
Oh my
You
god.
rude too?
Yes. He asked you for money, and then when you said we're broke,
He
said, "Me
we
too,"
do
and
not
then spat on
understand
you.
what is this word.
Yeah. A, we don't understand money, but that's how much gold my character has.
Yeah, so
Hey man, are
he's
you fantasy broke? Same.
yeah, pretty much.
Are you fantasy broke?
What have
Contact
the
your local
twins been
banker
up
now.
to?
Do you want this side?
Both of y'all have purple hair now. Whoa.
They are twins.
They're very
They're
twin.
They're
American.
triplets.
I'm the secret triplet.
Oh god.
That's a big height and race difference.
Bella had purple hair and I showed up at her house. It's like,
I'm sorry I interrupted for purple hair.
Okay, yeah.
You're supposed to be.
Are the twins just hanging out too, not doing much?
At the...
Hitting up the local casinos.
screwing with people.
Screwing with
The
people.
Screwing people. That's yeah.
You
So
guys, the like
Bar.
supernatural version in fantasy, you guys like hustle pool tables and hunt things.
You'll see.
Bars.
They are.
so you guys are hanging out at a bar. Bar. You've all seen
You're
the map.
so excited about it.
I'm so excited about a bar.
The city is a pretty alright place to live. You're all here for different reasons, however you got here, but that doesn't really matter because you're there. The center of the city is like a what's
A
the
park?
park in New York?
The center.
What's
Oh,
the
Central Park.
Central Park.
Fantasy
It's like
Central Park.
Fantasy Central Park, and right in the middle it looks like these two redwood trees, and stretching in between them is just like this sheer sort of greenish light, and that is the gate to the Feywild here in Vanguard. If you walk through that, you're in the Feywild now.
Fantasy Feywild.
Fantasy.
Wait,
Fey-
no.
Yeah, no, as opposed to the real life
All
Feywild.
travelers must purchase a ticket to enter the Feywild.
Yeah,
Feywild
they've
Keep
got
your hands
is-
they've
inside
got
of the
they've
Feywild
got
gate.
Feywild like stamp cards.
I was gonna
like
say,
on your 10th
guys,
visit
the-
you get a free
if-
flower.
I
The
was gonna say,
Feywild is New York.
I was gonna say, if that's an actual thing, my character would once in a while just be like,
Yeah, you get stamps and you're like, what the?
Yeah.
What
are
have they done to me?
Why are you giving me this? You know who I am.
What is this
You like
soft
lower
branding?
you like lower your sunglasses and you're like, do you know who I am?
Yeah. Because I'm 90% sure you should.
So it's midday. You're all up to something. Perhaps you're walking the streets or window shoppings or being edgy in a corner somewhere. So for each group of you, this would have happened independently, but around the same time, a courier runs up. And he's like panting. He's wearing like dirty clothes. And he's like, I got a letter. I got a letter. I got a letter. Here's a letter. It's an invitation. There's one for you.
Jason, you can't just
Guys,
take
one for you.
a letter. You have to say you take the letter. This is audio.
Yeah, Jason takes the letter. Can we communicate only in sign language for the rest of the podcast?
I can actually sign language, so.
Okay, well then put captions on this audio.
Closed captions
All
done
of this
by.
right now is us laughing at Jason still doing sign language. For
Yeah, you
those
still
of you
can't
who
see
can't
this.
see, they're
Are you
not-
having a side argument?
yeah, they're offending
So-
each other.
So
Rhys is crying.
So the envelope, it's like a nice white envelope with like a red wax seal on it that looks like a highly stylized and fancy D. Like a letter, not a phallic object.
But Jason, you of course looked at me. I'm like, what do you mean? It's not from
Yeah.
me.
So, and then the courier scampers off into the city from whence he came.
What? Okay.
You have an envelope. What y'all doing?
Thank you!
He's gone. He does not return your gratitude.
Fia, read it?
You want me to read it?
Yeah.
Are you Russian?
In
In Soviet Russia, letter reads you.
There is difference between Russian and Finnish.
I understand now.
Okay, so I read the letter.
Okay, so the letter,
I can
you
read.
open it up and it's like beautiful calligraphy and like lots of fancy designs.
Oh wow.
And it is an invitation to the Manor of Count Dollarsworth in downtown Vanguard. I'm assuming you all at some point read the letter.
Wait, is
Unless you
Vanguard
don't.
Vancouver?
No,
Fetched to Vancouver?
Fantasy
What's
thing.
not.
The question is, what language is the letter written in?
it is written in common.
Fuck.
You guys are like,
It takes us an hour, but we managed to get through the
You
letter.
decipher it. You pull out your common to whatever little dictionary, and you're like going word by
We've
word.
got a little travel book.
Hunter, I actually have that
And
book. It's in
no,
this orchid comment.
Rhys, we'd probably be sitting there like between both of our languages trying to fucking figure it out.
We're
for
just
each other.
sitting in the middle of the street.
Yeah, the
I think
letter
this one says invited, but it
The
also
letter-
might say bore.
invites you to the manor for 7 p.m. in the evening and mentions a reward.
But also
you were
7
able to show.
p.m. in the
But also
evening.
7 p.m. That's like prime party times, so
p.m. in the evening.
p.m. in the evening as opposed to p.m. in the morning. Fantasy p.m.
It runs on a 38-hour clock.
It's divided up into quarters, so there's a.m. in the morning, p.m. in the morning, a.m. in the afternoon, and p.m. in the afternoon.
Let's go back to fantasy times. I mean, original fantasy times, not this fantasy time.
Fia, do you know anyone by this name?
No.
Do I know anyone by this name?
Roll
asking
knowledge, see if
God.
you've heard of him. Intelligence.
Actually, yeah. Can I roll too?
Yeah, roll intelligence. You can all do it if you want to. I'm not
Oh,
picky.
that's true.
This is gonna be useless.
That's a 13.
Keep that in mind.
It's also 13 for
What?
me.
Oh,
Oh, what am I adding?
intelligence.
Intelligence is a 13 for me.
Oh,
That's
So,
Wait,
13 for you.
13.
Just straight intelligence. Straight up intelligence.
Would we have disadvantage on this?
Yeah.
I'll say no, because
Kinda
you
like
would have
him,
come to the
so.
town often because of the gate.
Not necessarily.
necessarily
Not very often.
But you would.
But
But would
It's
I?
fantasy
'Cause,
Vancouver. You have disadvantage. Fine, if you want to be that way.
Awesome, it's Nate.
14.
I don't even know who the
Both
fuck
of
I
us.
am.
Okay, so what did you get on yours?
13.
So You have no idea who this is.
I have no fucking
You've
clue.
all at least heard a little bit about Count Donald Dollarsworth,
No.
who is by far the richest man in the city, and he's just like, like,
Oh,
oof.
fantasy Donald Duck, not fantasy Donald Trump.
I mean, you haven't met him yet. You got like a 19, right? You know a bit more. You know that his family is like long.
Is there any history with me, like my family with them? No.
You know that they were founded by, let's see, Admiral C.T. Dollarsworth, like hundreds of years ago. And ever since then, they've just been getting wealthier and wealthier.
Well, I got a 9, so that's cool.
He's got a bit of a stupid name, ain't he?
Just a bit.
So,
I really love this name.
so we go.
love
Are we
it.
visiting him then? Is that what's happening?
Do we want to? I'm accidentally adopting yours.
I mean, like, we ain't got nothing else to do. Cool.
Speak for
What time
yourself,
is
I
it?
might go home.
7:30 p.m. in the evening.
7. No, not the invitation. The what time is it like now? Are we just like sitting
Oh,
here
it's
on the
like
street
noon.
reading it at noon?
It's like noon,
Okay.
midday-ish.
I guess
So
we'll
wait, I'm sitting in a bar at noon.
Yeah, you're day drinking.
you got a bit of a
It's
problem. there.
wine time!
Yeah!
They're having their wine and cheese hour.
It's 5 p.m. in the evening somewhere on this fantasy world.
Oh my god.
Maybe back in the Feywild.
Oh, that,
Yeah,
Fantasy
Feywild Standard Time. It's like 6:30.
Okay,
the
I'm pretty sure-
Feywild's Feywild.
I was gonna say, pretty sure the Feywild is like always. It's
Eternal
always 5 p.m.
Alright,
Drink time.
I guess we'd head back to the inn just to drop stuff off. And is this like this invitation? It seems like it's a bit more dress up thing.
The invitation is nice.
Okay.
It basically says like, "Hey, show up. There's a reward if you do, or there's a
Alright.
potential reward
Okay.
if you do."
We'll like
Potential.
I'll like style my hair,
You
but like
style your
not
hair.
properly. Like
My character's
good.
not doing anything. He looks good as it is. Also,
You
his
look
second set of
delicious.
his second
can we
set
roll
of
for appearance?
Yeah,
His-
roll for swag.
I already
I got a critical
Oh my
one
God.
on swag.
So you are styling your hair.
it's a 50.
It does not like to be styled.
You brush it back, and then as you turn to leave,
It
like
just goes.
like Rube Goldberg style, you bump into a table,
Oh.
which tips into a chair, and like just everything goes wrong, and then like a cup of wine spills on your shirt.
I
Fucking
just
hell.
remembered I literally have a feat that tells me how good I look.
Hey,
You look.
can you clean this up for me? I've got a bit of a wine problem.
Are you guys gonna even go?
Thaumaturgy or something. Magic it away.
Oh, I didn't even.
That's not how magic works.
It is
Are
how
you
magic
both rolling
works.
for
That's how
swag?
thaumaturgy works. It's a fucking spell.
Oh,
you can
that's
do that.
true.
You can fucking clean my shit.
It's
We
not-
always look
Okay,
fancy. We're kind of
fine.
always dressed very
Let's go.
posh.
Posh, prim and proper.
Prim and proper.
That one's prim and that one's proper. Maybe.
So,
Proper and the popper.
are you guys?
Ooh.
Hey,
Ooh.
Thea, do you want to go?
I mean, we've got nothing else to do.
True. But should we dress in noble? Do you have noble?
What? What?
Nice clothes.
The language barrier.
Do I have nice clothes?
Yes.
I mean, I'll just go in this. I don't know. They gave me a letter that they gave to us in a bar. We're day drinking right now. They should probably assume that like
You
we're
have.
gonna show up like this and steal all their drinks.
Well,
Maybe start to brawl too.
you look. Why am I doing your accent?
I don't know why you're doing my accent.
You look nice. Nice, good, perfect. I
Perfect.
wouldn't sacrifice you.
Oh, look at that.
That's more of an insult where I'm from. Depending on where you're from, that's an insult.
Do you know
Do you
what
feel
I mean?
loved?
Do you
Do
feel
you feel
insulted?
not sacrificed?
Well,
You feel sacrifice worthy.
that's nice.
I'm sorry,
No,
I
it's
didn't
not.
mean to
It's
scare you.
really not
I'm
love.
sorry.
You know,
Do you want to go?
elsewhere.
Yeah.
Sure. And I
I-
chug my drink.
I sip my
You-
wine.
You you got like a whole bottle of wine in front of you. You're like, what?
I'm like, yeah.
It's like,
Sure, I'd love to go with you. I mean, I'd
little bit. Come, return.
I don't know what they said. Okay,
Join
bye.
the shenanigans, it's fine.
Okay.
Okay, so are you gonna do anything before the meeting at the manor, or are you just gonna?
I want to eat the rest of my cheese.
You eat the rest of your cheese. It is good.
How the fuck do they know who we are? I mean, the dude stopped us in the middle of the fucking street.
You expect me to know?
Well, I don't fucking know, so I expected you to have a clue or something. Oh, fuck it. Whatever. No, don't listen to the fucking smart one.
You have 0%.
Ah, fuck you, man. Fuck you, mate. I'm a wise one then. Okay,
Yeah.
you can be the fucking smart.
Bicker.
Fuck
people,
you.
are looking at you weird.
Fucking turn away, you cunts. Ain't nothing to look at.
Guys, isn't there supposed to be a smart one and a strong one? I mean, obviously, I'm
Smart,
both in this group,
strong.
but...
I'm the
Stop!
Smart?
Oh no no no!
really
Such a way with words. What a charmer.
No
I
no.
didn't sacrifice you! Are you smart?
Are you?
Stop! You don't just ask people if they're smart!
I mean, depends on who you're asking.
Yeah,
Who said that?
if you're not dumb enough. Like if you're dumb enough to not be insulted, then it's fine.
You know what? She said, let me see your sheet. Are you smart?
If I
gonna
remember
say
correctly,
no.
he
No, but I'm
actually.
very strong.
I thought I was the strong one.
So you have 2 strong ones and no smart one. This is great. You have 2 angry ones and no smart
I'm not
one.
fucking angry.
I'm not overly angry. I'm just
Passive aggressive.
passive aggressive as fuck.
Fine, we'll bloody make our way up.
So you start
Downtown,
making your
I
way
guess.
downtown. It gives you a street address.
I mean,
We've gotta travel
the other
the map and
option
our travel
is
book
if you're not gonna
unfolded.
come, he'll just like yell Jalith and then run. He'll just fucking book it.
You wouldn't
You
run
guys gonna
fast
go?
enough.
Apple juice lady.
Yeah.
Are you gonna go?
Yes, we're going.
Yeah.
Okay. So you all at some point make your way there. The meeting still wasn't for 7.5 hours.
I thought it would take a while to get dressed and everything.
Okay, fine. The meeting still isn't for 6.5 hours. Being generous, like if you take an hour to put some clothes on,
We could also
mean,
take an hour
please.
to walk there.
True. Can we just appreciate myself,
your
okay?
wine-stained dress
It
shirt.
would have in my
Wait,
fucking.
can I actually
except I
clean
can't-
your shirt?
You can.
I
Thaumaturgy
can't
can. Yeah.
appreciate you if I
Okay.
don't even know what you look like other than your stained shirt.
Because
The shirt was cleaned, okay?
yeah,
No,
I
it's not
cleaned it. I have thermaturgy.
You took it to the dry cleaners.
We took it
The
to the
fantasy
magical,
dry cleaners.
fantasy dry cleaners. You didn't want to waste a spell slot
So
on me.
either way,
Yeah.
you
That's how
all
we
end
Is
up-
that
wasted
how
our
we wasted our
hours.
6 hours?
That's
we
how you
just
wasted your
sat
6
in the
hours.
fantasy dry cleaners.
I'm assuming you guys had some more wine and
It
cheese
is.
before you
Yes.
did over.
Yeah.
He's just an asshole.
I'm just a bit of an asshole. It's fine.
Wait, are there any bar brawls that pop up?
That's good.
Not really.
I am watching for those.
You're watching for bar balls?
I'm watching for those.
At one point, this old dude gets a bit heated, but he leaves. Like, he recollects himself, he leaves, and a few seconds later, he's like, I'm sorry, man.
I'm just like,
I'm
yeah,
bored."
you go. Oh, you are going?
Yeah. You get disappointed.
Thea, that's not very nice.
You left. You didn't hear it. It's fine.
You make your way to the mansion.
Can
So,
we just bring you the
in
you're the one saying it's
the
not nice.
evening, you all arrive at various times. As you get there, you start to see like other people awkwardly hanging out in
Thea,
front of
I
the
don't
mansion.
want to do this anymore. I can't.
There's not many.
There's a lot.
There's
What the
other
fuck
than
going
you
in?
two, 4.
There's so many people.
Don't fucking look to
Don't worry,
something.
it's-
It's just
it's
standing up
fine.
and
Is my
staring.
hair nice?
Is your hair nice?
Yeah, can you see it? Oh, sorry.
You're like 6 feet above me, buddy.
I bent down and like.
So you see this describe yourselves and they can imagine what's happening with this
Okay.
situation.
So I'm a. Who tall am I? Sorry. 6'8" half orc barbarian who has nice long black hair and he's green all over. He's got. Fucking Zanny!
I just got
It's official. You're getting a donkey.
No!
It's too late. It'll happen. Don't worry. I can make it happen. I have that power.
Okay. I love a donkey. I'm wearing... Do you mind? I'm wearing what looks to be a pink dress shirt underneath a studded leather armor, and I have what looks like that we would describe it pirate pants, but they're brown, and he has some nice...
I love pirate pants.
He has calf-high boots, if that makes sense, and he has like a nice...
Like a baby
Blue.
cow.
It depends on how tall the cow is.
Yeah, you know, that's a good point. It could be that tall.
See, baby cow tall boots. They're made out of baby cows.
Okay.
You killed baby cows to make your boots.
No!
Yep. They're calf-high calf boots.
I start crying now.
You start crying uncontrollably.
Oh, boy.
And that's what he looks like. I haven't said my name yet, so...
No.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, add some.
I don't know.
Oh, wait.
She's... Yeah, you weren't gonna look at your reference sheet?
Do you have a reference sheet?
Yeah. I
Ooh.
drew it for him.
He's hot.
He is hot.
It's just clothing. It's not even him.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know. She's got dark blue shirt,
She just bought apple
Leather
juice.
armor.
Yeah.
pants, boots. You know, the usual.
Thank God.
Yeah.
You show up like, hey.
I didn't hear the shirt part,
Hey,
so it's just
everybody,
pants, boots, the usual, you know?
Shirt. There is a shirt. I can confirm.
I don't know.
How tall are you?
She's a halfling. She is 2'8". She's got blue eyes. She's got dark brown hair, cut short. She's got a
Wait.
bunch of freckles.
Oh, jeez, I'm gonna have to describe my character twice.
That's about it. Unless
Same.
I don't know.
That's okay.
The-
You see this group of oddities.
Yeah.
The tall one is bending way down so that the short one
Can
can
check
see
his
the
hair.
top of his head.
Someone's most definitely, like, on his knees.
He's
Yes.
totally touching his toes. He's got like the full bend.
We
He's
have...
incredibly flexible.
There is exactly a 4-foot difference between our characters, so...
Yeah.
It's tough.
Hey, 4 foot.
1
foot.
foot.
So,
A single foot.
are you four just like awkwardly standing, or have you talked to each other at all?
I feel like we'd probably be the last to arrive just because we went dry cleaning.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's drunk.
True.
You have to keep that in
Gee, you're
mind.
fucking wasted.
She's drunk.
Right.
She's like,
Wasted!
she yells that.
Wasted!
She yells she's fantasy wasted.
Congrats, Toots. No.
Don't call me Toots!
I feel like you've changed
Yeah,
your
lower your
character
voice.
so much with this accent.
It's
Yeah.
not. I can't fucking play with the accent.
No, you
Yeah,
can't, because
you
that,
can't, because
like,
it's...
from what I've heard
I've
of your
turned into
character,
a fucking asshole with the
Yeah,
accent.
that's not... Being an asshole's my job.
Yeah, no.
Sure,
I'm supposed to be the
both of you are
nice
assholes.
one.
Yeah.
Both of you are the fantasy assholes.
Oh no, you haven't...
Alright. Just kind of.
So what are the twins
Cool
up
down
to?
the
Well,
British.
these two have met each other
down the
and
British.
started arguing.
You're probably late.
We were probably very late.
Alright, fine.
I'm still
We'll be the
standing there
first.
braiding her hair.
Yeah.
I don't think you should use the accent. It makes you really abrasive.
Yeah.
So they,
Alright.
two others,
Probably
Some
these outfits
Cool it
still.
down.
some twins, some
I think a posh accent
Tiefling
might actually
twins.
suit you.
finally
They can't
show
fucking
up.
look.
Yeah.
I will put it up somewhere.
Did you just, like, try and show it to the microphone?
Yeah. Hey guys, look, it's a picture. Don't put it up right now. If it's up, take it down for this. Hey guys, look, it's a picture. Okay, put it back up now.
We could edit it onto the screen. I'm not.
You can't now, though. I told you not to. If you do, I'll never come back. This
Oh,
will be the
no.
first and last episode.
Jeez.
We actually do die.
Yeah.
This is the description we wrote.
Your characters catch
Okay,
tuberculosis.
wait, no,
You
that-
die in a
I can
hospital 3
describe
weeks
it.
later.
My character dying would be
He
really
dies of
bad.
tetanus.
Or not. I tried to help. Fantasy, fuck you!
You are
Let's play.
Are you
Let's play.
actually
How
gonna
fast
say
can we
that?
start a war?
I'm very good at this.
so
Wars are like my best part.
So again, you are immediately arguing as the two others show up, and you hear, "Oh, good heavens!" And like this Batman Alfred-looking butler like scurries up and opens these huge iron
Doers,
gates that
Our
you were sort of
description.
gathered in front of,
So they
and
just
they've got
don't know what our characters look like.
they've
Yeah,
got like the
no, they don't.
sigil of dollars worth, which is like the D as in the letter D, all beautifully designed. And there's like a winding path leading through this beautiful garden up to this huge mansion. And he's like, "You must be the ones Mr. Donald summoned. Is that correct?"
Yes.
You said the ladder, maybe.
Lower your voice.
All right. I'm turning it to you. I went a bit like Gru there. Yeah, he's Gru now. Hello.
Oh god.
Let's go.
Well, there is a difference
Do one,
between
do.
Gru and Fia.
All right.
Do they want to know? Do you want to know what we look like?
I mean, you can.
You guys want to start?
What
They showed the
did
picture.
theirs.
Oh, I thought you were.
They showed
doing
the picture.
They didn't do an audio
Do
description.
you want to
I
do
did type
yours
up a
first?
description, but I put it on the wrong character.
Do you want to do yours first?
No.
It's fine.
Have fun.
Okay,
Oh.
let me describe yours. They look like elves.
What else?
That's racist.
That is
okay,
racist.
so
Elf
How dare you?
racist.
you
He
wouldn't
is
be
also
able.
fantasy drunk.
You wouldn't be able to tell if my character is an elf.
Yeah, he's edgy.
He's 6'1". He is wearing a ornately decorated fox mask with an amethyst in the middle. And
He's foxy.
he's wearing what looks like a silken cloak that starts out blue and fades to green, with the hood up, which is why you can't tell whether or not he's an elf. You can see little strands of white hair, though, peeking through the hood.
Unless it's like a specially designed hood, I'm just imagining like there's points poking up for your ears.
Yeah, they're kind of poking up because like he's trying to hide it, but it's not going very well.
Alright.
And there's a special sort of clasp on his cloak. It looks like an interesting design of snakes of some sort. He's wearing a silvery tunic with leather armor that's kind of a blue-green with silver detailing, and he is wearing ballet flats. And he looks kind of unhappy about them every time he takes a step.
There's
Because he's
an
not on point.
almost an air of nobility
Yeah.
about him that makes everyone else feel much less confident in what they're wearing.
Yeah, he's
Except for you, you're too wasted.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
and he's wearing like
We're too
I'd say his
overconfident.
pants are probably like they're fairly tight. And
Ooh. Fairly tight. Ooh.
He's got fantasy spandex
yeah.
from the
and-
fantasy Lululemons.
Yeah, but no, he definitely looks a bit out of place. And he's wearing a snake cuff around his bicep.
Ooh, kinky.
Does that mean it's my turn?
Yes, that means it's your turn.
All right.
Deal.
Small, lean, and muscled, he stands a very imposing 5'1",
Yes, very imposing.
5'1".
Hey,
He's dressed
5'1"
in.
can be super imposing.
Thea is scared.
Thank you.
Danny is 5'1". She's angry at me.
I called him a coward because he brought it up to 5'3". He brought it down.
I did.
And I brought my
I
head
met
up.
the challenge.
I was originally supposed to be like 5'9", and I was like, if Rhys is gonna be 5'1", I'm gonna be a foot taller.
All right. He's dressed in a somewhat high-made set of travel clothes, beneath gleaming elvish-appearing armor and a large, darkly colored wolf pelt. His skin is kind of like a light chocolate.
Oh, I forgot to say what.
Hair a darker chocolate
But we can't see your face.
that falls in short
You can
curls
see my hands though.
around a black wolf's mask, detailed in gold.
Lots of masks.
He carries a spear in hand, covered with images of wings and trumpets, an ebony bow and quiver slung over a shoulder, while a gleaming green sheath carrying a blade that is tied into the actual sheath
You remind me
hangs
of
at his
all
side.
things I left out.
You can't be sure the color of his eyes, a dark blue or silvery gray, but you can tell they're hardened eyes, the eyes of a man not to be underestimated.
Nice.
Also,
Should
he's wearing gladiator sandals,
Yeah.
up to his thighs.
Okay, so what I forgot to mention.
Why are you laughing?
No, I killed Jason.
You did.
Because he said the eyes are a hardened man, and I looked at Jason and went nice and hard. So then
Oh my God.
and I was just waggling my eyebrows at him, and it broke him.
I just realized what I forgot to say though. So my character's mask has lenses on them, so that you can't see his eyes. They look like they could be removed, but they seem to be
His
specially
eyes?
put in. No. No.
Yeah, the eyes that you can't see.
Yeah. He has his mask where like there would normally be the slits for the eyes is covered by a lens that's dark enough you can't see the eye color through. And he doesn't look actually as if he's carrying any weapons. Though he does have an interesting snake attached to his belt.
Ooh, one sneaky boy.
Sorry, an
This is
actual
armor.
snake.
It looks like a silver snake.
He's got a boa constrictor wrapped around him. He's being suffocated.
Definitely.
I almost forgot to
I'm
mention.
dying.
He's got white bandages wrapped around from like over his hand down
So
to
like
like
a
about
boxer thing?
about elbow.
Like the boxer thing.
Almost, nearly.
I really want to show
And
you
then
guys.
he's got a set of what looks like bracers, but they're kind of like detailed like wings.
That's actually what I was about to show them. I'm
Yeah.
like, I want to
Bracers?
show them what
Yeah.
my bracers
Okay, I
look
thought
like.
you said bracers, and I'm like,
Yeah, he's got a
I
bra.
mean, I have
So-
bracers.
Does that
That's
mean
what my character's bracers look
They're
like.
very pretty.
Ooh, cool.
So
beans.
they look a bit like butterflies, and they've got an iridescent.
I will
glow
not be
on them.
outdone by you.
And
Oh my God! Moving
We're
on.
done. We're
Moving
done.
on.
do you know how much fucking detail we put into what
Too
these
much!
characters look
Let's
like?
go. Continue.
My dad's picking me up at 10. We've got 5 hours.
We're gonna fill it with character descriptions
Let's
because they
not.
don't even know what my character's face looks like.
What's your skin color? Because you wanted to say that.
It's white and it almost looks like it's glowing.
So he a white boy. So this
Sweet, I'm like, dude.
so this butler this butler is like, would you all kindly come with me, please?
Sure.
Thank you. And he like turns around and like the gates swing open majestically, and he leads you through the garden up to this.
I walk in the front.
The butler.
Yeah.
The butler kind of awkwardly shuffles past you. You're
I'm at the front of our group. I
He's
will
like
not be
5
outpaced.
inches taller than you.
Fuck you, butler.
You're supposed to be the nice character.
I am the nice character.
So,
trust me, you haven't seen what my character's
So the
personality's
so
like.
there's a paved path that leads its way through a garden and up around like a large
Oh, I thought you wanted my hand.
Continue.
up around like a large ornate marble fountain, and sort of just a little bit past that there are some stone steps leading up to this big brick mansion. There are 2 like butlers standing outside the front doors, which are like massive. They're like 10 feet tall and made out of dark wood with golden handles in like that have like the symbol of like this city's dollar sign. Like that's what the handles to this house look like.
All he has is dollar bills.
Oh yes, he is one dolly boy.
Like fantasy dolly party.
So the 2, yes.
Instead of a
So
man,
the
we
two-
see a woman with like large breasts and curly blonde hair.
So the 2 butlers standing watch open the door, and you are entering the foyer of this huge mansion. So there's like a hallway that extends to your left and right with more huge doors on either side. There's a velvet carpet running over hardwood floors. The room is lit by a huge crystal chandelier that hangs from the ceiling and casts rainbows and reflections and patterns all over the huge foyer. There's a set of like twin curving stairs up to a landing before switching onto a balcony that sort of extends around the room. On the wall of this landing, there's a massive oil painting of a man in military dress, his chest adorned with medals. He's got a tri-pointed hat, which is like the pirate hat, plumed with several feathers, and a very serious look on his face. Underneath, there is this huge gold plaque that says Admiral C.T. Dollarsworth. So upon entering, this like little maid, she's like, "Oh, blimey, they're here!" And she like books it up the stairs and away to the left and disappears behind a set of huge doors. And the butler that led you in turns to you, and he's like, My name is Jeremy. I'm the master of the house here. Can I get you anything while we wait for His Excellency?
No, thank you.
Do you have anywhere I can put my bag? And I motion to the backpack that's about as big as me.
Yes, I will call some people. They will collect it. And he like snaps his fingers, and like a couple of like children run out. Like,
Can we take your bag, man?
But how big are these children?
it looks like together they could carry it. They're about as big as you are.
Small halfling children. No, actually just small children.
Yeah, I was gonna say
halfling children are like
smaller.
Very small.
You can
Okay.
never tell a halfling child from a halfling baby.
you can never tell a halfling child from a toddler.
Okay,
So-
I give them the
Barely.
bag. Yeah.
All right, they take the bag. They're like standing next to you.
I
They-
unbutton my cloak and I give it to them as well.
You throw it on them.
I
It
know.
like covers their face.
Cal, don't make them ghosts.
Anyone
sorry.
else?
My character can't take off his cloak.
Okay.
It's got his holy symbol on it.
Just shift.
You shift.
Shift the cloak. Do you have coffee?
He's like, of course. And he snaps
I've
his
got
fingers,
coffee.
and
I
like
have
another,
that.
like a maid, the like big wooden doors to your right swing open, and like this maid runs out carrying a tray with some coffee and cups on it. It's like, here you go.
Okay. I take a cup of coffee, black, and I also take the sugar palette. And I just
Are you gonna be Charlotte in this?
no. I just take the sugar bowl
She
and I just
she like
hold the
awkwardly
bowl and I look
backs
at
away.
you as I drink the coffee.
So a few moments
I
pass.
know how much fucking sugar he takes in his coffee.
So a few moments pass, and
Thanks, do you want to know the exact number?
shortly
can't
thereafter,
remember
the
what it is.
door
I
that
think it's
that
like
servant dashed away into when you first got here swings open, and about a dozen men wearing just over the top, ridiculous like fanfare outfits, carrying silver trumpets, walk out of the set of double doors and begin playing a fanfare. And one of them walks out with like a scroll that like unfurls and reaches all the way to the floor and like rolls down the stairs a bit and goes, hear ye, all rise for the arrival of the great Donald W. Dollarsworth.
We're already standing.
So he looks at you.
Thea's almost clapping like I am because she is.
So
I'm gonna
I
shift
was a whisper.
backwards a little bit, just close to the
So
back
a man
door.
in like just this huge golden silk robe with red scarves draped all around him, and a ridiculously large and long purple cape, and he has like perhaps dozens of gold necklaces and rings on with diamonds, emeralds, amethysts, sapphires, and pearls. The whole shebang. He has
Oh no.
he has he has like a long thin face with a tiny mustache, and he's wearing a little crystal monocle. And he like slowly saunters over to the landing, and he goes,
Does he realize what my character is? Because wearing shiny things is not a good idea.
"You are put to shame by what he is wearing."
No, he likes
I
to
know.
steal shiny
I know.
things.
He goes, "Hello."
Are you a pro?
No.
And he like brushes his sort of like shoulder length brown hair, and he's like, "You must be speechless right now, as you are in the presence of Donald W. Dollarsworth, son of S.H. Donaldsworth, grandson of G.R. Dollarsworth, and the great grandson of the illustrious Cornelius Thromwell Dollarsworth."
Not really, I've never heard of you.
He's like he says Cornelius Thromwell Dollarsworth, making a huge motion to the painting behind him.
I don't know who you
I-
are, but I really like the
Thea.
trumpets.
Thea.
I would say that you are not that impressive. I have spoke with the gods themselves.
The gods have nothing on them.
That's maybe what
And like more doors
I
swing
dropped the
open,
coffee cup.
and like this servant runs out and like falls to his knees, and he's got like this silk purple pillow with like golden tassels, and there's like it looks like a chalice carved out of a single huge crystal, and it's full of red wine, and he like picks it up and swirls it around slowly.
Okay, that was really weird. Why didn't you just go get that yourself?
He says, "Well, when you're rich, you don't have to do anything."
Well, then what do you do?
True.
Literally nothing.
Well, then there you go. You don't do anything.
And he goes, "Come, sit with me in the drawing room. There's a predicament that I've found myself in, and I should like your assistance with it."
Because you don't do anything. You
Because
want
I
us
don't
to-
do anything, I want you to do my things for me.
Okay.
Yeah, don't talk to them like that. It's not very nice.
You can find
I'd like to
me.
take a second coffee cup to replace the first one.
The maid rushes up with the tray. Would you like more sugar?
I take the second sugar and I put it on top of the other sugar thing I'm still carrying
You've
and
got
drink my black coffee.
Way more. They're like the sugar cubes. So you've just got like way too many sugar cubes. And she's
I'm gonna open
no.
a little pouch
Oh
at
my
my
goodness,
side
can
and
I
dump
have
the
some,
sugar.
please?
Wait, Rhys.
Fine, I'll
Wait,
give you, like
Rhys.
2.
2?
If this keeps going, you're gonna have the ingredients to make a cake. Because
it's
you've
a
already
piece of
got.
cake to make a pretty cake.
He's not looking at me, but I'm waggling my eyebrows at
copyright.
Jason.
What the fuck are you looking at me for?
Rhys, your character already has 3 fucking bags of
I don't
flour.
know what I'm talking about.
No. I replaced those with sugar, sand, and salt, respectively.
Oh my god. 'Cause
So he's staring at you, and he's like, "So, do you want to come to the drawing room?"
Yeah, yes. And I walk up.
I'd actually say my
More
character.
particularly.
My
Why?
character.
I can do that. And he like
Yeah, I like this.
claps his
girl's
hands
idea.
again, and like this like
One for
snooty looking but
More one for me as well.
okay. So this snooty looking butler comes out like carrying like this gold bedazzled tray with 6 chalices of wine on it. He comes out and he's got like, you know, the towel over his arm, and he like hands them out. He puts it down. He's like, "Wine? Anyone?"
Can
No,
I
thank
reach
you.
it?
Yes. He lowers it more for you.
Thanks.
Yes. Live to serve. You too?
That was our house motto: live to serve. No, he's just gonna keep drinking his coffee. He's also put the sugar back.
You put the sugar on the wine tray, and he looks confused, but
I take
My-
the sugar.
he lowers it again for you.
You just like make
You like reach up and clap your hands, and he lowers it.
No,
for you.
no,
You
no.
sugar.
Your
It
tiny
doesn't-
baby
it doesn't
hands.
have to. I use mage hand to get it down.
Okay, this spectral hand appears and grabs the sugar.
Yeah. Because why not?
So
I mean, we're the closest in height, so it wouldn't be
So,
that much of a lean.
Dollarsworth is just like sitting there, like at this point he's handed the chalice of wine off to a servant, and he's just like,
Well, where's the fucking drawing room then?
this way.
Yeah.
And like he slowly, painfully slowly walks off like up the stairs into the like the big doors that he initially came out of.
I
Great. So
follow.
are we having a tour now?
Yeah,
So
follow
the
them
servants are like, "Right this way." And they like lead you along.
Yeah.
Is this all in common? So are we like all mildly not understanding everything?
So as they speak, you aren't sure why, but you can understand what they're saying.
Oh, okay.
Or you understand it because
Like
You
like
understand
if
common.
it's like
like me.
My
you understand what they're saying in the language you're most familiar with.
Oh, that's kind of freaky.
Okay, common it is.
I'm incredibly uncomfortable.
You're very uncomfortable.
So am I, because
like you can tell that
Well, it
what they're
wouldn't be
saying
that
like
bad
with their
you
mouth
'cause
holes
of the hole.
doesn't
Yeah,
match
there's
up with the
the
words
portal,
you're
but,
hearing.
like-
But yeah.
yeah, there's the portal, but like it's not
I dropped the second coffee cup.
it's
now
not overly
empty.
common outside of the
Do you drop it
gatherings.
like on the floor?
Yeah, that's what I did with the first one.
Okay, there's
Another!
there's a growing pile of glass. It's like
They're
beautiful
glass coffee
china.
I can't do anything with your room.
I can't go anywhere nice.
So the servants are like, "This way, please."
I'm guessing my
Upstairs.
character looks at yours and goes, "Is this why you wanted me to wear shoes?"
It's a dangerous
I just
place.
grab Fia's hand, but also not at the same time, so it's kind of like top of her head, but like
You're like leaving her by
Yeah.
the shoulder like
Yeah.
a child.
Following.
Okay.
And if you grab
So-
my hand, I will kick you in the shins.
okay.
You all go up the stairs despite your bickering. Dollarsworth still hasn't made it through the door yet. He's just walking really slowly. And once you
I
all get
pass
there,
him.
he speeds up. He's like waiting for you.
He needed to be watched.
Okay, can I just say my character starts like deliberately slowing everyone else down to watch him slow down to see if he'll slow
He
down
like
again.
glares at you with just this look of
You're not
disgust on his
I don't
face.
know who's the
So
asshole.
as
You You were the guy.
So as you enter the hallway, there's like massive oil paintings of people that all look just like Donald's worth, and they've got like different dates of death, and like starting like hundreds of years ago. As time goes on, their clothing just gets more and more ridiculously extravagant, and they've got like different ridiculous names and stuff. So
Are they all staring down at us? Like,
yes. They've got like the weird old-timey painting things where the eyes follow you.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Do they all look like similar, like related similar, or like unnervingly similar?
Unnervingly similar.
Ew. She's sipping her wine.
You're sipping that wine. You're like another.
Oh, sipping.
A butler offers you a straw.
Thank you.
So,
Copyright.
So finally, after passing dozens of sets of huge double doors, Donald stops in front of one and snaps his fingers, and two servants rush forward and open the doors for him. And you all step inside. You're like forced inside by the servants. They don't want you arguing anymore. So the butlers, they close the doors behind you guys, so it's just you and Donald. The room has dark oak. That sounded really creepy.
It has dark oak.
It doesn't.
So it has dark oak paneling and like a large marble fireplace. There are several like big leather chairs with side tables and such, all with silk tablecloths, and bookshelves full of old books line the walls. There's one large ornate golden throne with purple cushioning, and as soon as you like enter the room, Donald runs to that chair and sits down, and he's like still sipping from the chalice, and he like motions for you all to sit down.
I'll wiggle myself and like.
There's a short chair for you.
I stand just to spite him.
I'm gonna sit
He like
on
glares
the
at you.
armrest. I'll like lean on the armrest, kind of like I'm not sitting in an actual chair. And I like
That would be-
fuddle
yeah,
around
that would
for a
be
minute.
slightly uncomfortable.
It is. It's very uncomfortable. He looks very uncomfortable with the chair.
Yeah, we're both like.
Are you sitting in the
We're
chairs?
sitting on the armrest, both of us. Yeah.
Of like the same chair.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm the only one being nice.
Wait,
okay.
would it make sense for my character to kind of concede, but instead of going to another chair, he sits down in the chair he's sitting on the armrest of?
So you do
I
that,
see
and
the
he
one
like he looks really confused, Donald. So finally, after this little musical chairs as dance finishes,
There's just two empty chairs somewhere.
Yeah. he looks disappointed. He goes, "Do you know what this is?" And he holds up a small golden ring with silver engravings. Like part of it is concave, and there's like 4 tiny hooks coming out of it. It looks like it was designed to hold like a small sphere of some kind, like a pearl or something.
Do I know what it is?
Roll intelligence.
16.
I do not know what it is.
9.
9. Hey.
16.
13.
It's a ring.
That's great.
Okay then.
That's all you know about it.
Yep, it's a ring.
So after you guys miraculously fail to answer,
No,
He goes-
no, sir.
he goes, "This ring used to hold one of my family's most prized possessions."
Finger
My
of
cock ring.
somebody who's deceased.
No. No, we keep those in the East drawing room. I kid. We keep them in the South drawing room.
The West, they'd get sunburned.
Yes. A shard of elemental chaos. Now, these shards on their own are decently powerful, allowing the user to harness raw elemental power. This ring amplified that ability. And he like leans in close and gets a very grave look on his face, like the monocle like reflects the firelight. And he's like, "Somebody stole the shard, and I want it back."
Are you sure it wasn't one of us?
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying it was me.
Oh.
No, I didn't. Why would I steal from him?
And thieves can't. I like sign fuck. Sophia.
He like glances at you confusedly.
Okay, thanks for that fantasy sign language.
And he goes, "This is where you all come in." He goes, "I believe it was stolen by a cult that seeks to harness its power." And he like leans back and gets like this proud look on his face. He goes, "How preposterous to steal from the illustrious Dollarsworth family!" And like he like takes a sip from his wine. He's like, this is why you're here, of course. I need you to get it back for me. Normally I just use my endless wealth to hire an entire army and crush the living daylights out of them. However, these artifacts are powerful. If I sent an entire army after one, people would look into it. They would know that I had it. And I don't want that. It would surely get stolen again. This is also why I can't hire professional adventurers. Too high profile for this sort of work. This is why I need you, a bunch of nobodies that people don't care about. You're perfect.
All of us just look
Like,
at each other
yeah, we're like,
"Bitch, what the fuck?
I need your lack of achievement in this
I've
plane
got a
of
whetstone
existence.
out. I'm
Wait,
sharpening
And
my
he
spear.
he glances at you two specifically, and he goes, lack of achievement in this plane of existence. It's
I
bumping.
mean,
And how'd you find us then?
He takes another swig, and he goes, that's for me to know.
Nah, buddy, I think it's for me to know.
He goes, are you threatening me?
he might be actually.
Okay, wait, how
He
are you
did
sitting?
call
Because
me
I'm gonna
puss.
say that my character, like, reaches up to almost,
Okay,
in, like,
you know,
a
just
calming
like-
gesture.
Just like,
So
But
he's
he's like
rushes your face.
No, I was gonna say my character's, like,
oh no, this
caressing
is
your
the back.
thigh.
I'd be like this direction then.
So he's like...
And
"Could
I'm
you just
sharpening a
stop?"
spear. Fun.
He goes, the cult that stole it is headquartered in Estvon, on the southern side of the continent. You must get it back. The reward will make it worth it, I assure you.
May I see the ring first?
Please
Can I
don't
roll it?
steal it, ma'am.
Can I roll an insight check on this dude?
Yeah, sure.
Is he like lying out his gold gilded butt crack? That's a 19.
19?
Inside?
Yeah.
You soon begin to notice, like, little
21.
bumps, both of you, in, like, the robe that he's wearing that are obviously concealing perhaps dozens of weapons.
Okay.
It's gold-plated butt crack. It's very well armed. Ain't no penetration here.
Oh god.
That's good. That was a good one.
And he goes, do we have an accord?
What can you offer us?
Oh.
And he, like, gestures around the room and goes, whatever you want.
What's in the room?
I mean,
Like,
he's in the room
lots
technically,
of-
so if
yeah.
if anybody wanted to date him, that this would be the time.
I'm not bad.
Yeah, if you want to marry into an incredibly rich family.
I think I'm set.
I think I'm
If
fine
you
with
want your
that.
last name to be dollars and something.
Dollars worth.
Dollars worth. Thank you.
I'm pretty sure my character's doing fine on its own.
Okay,
Can you
but,
offer
yeah.
directions?
He goes, of course.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Direction?
So,
Fine.
the quickest way to Estvon...
No, not to Esteban, you fucking idiot.
What?
Directions to where I need to go.
Estvon?
As my
The cult?
tithe.
I don't know what that word means.
I don't
need-
know either.
You would have to get the shard safely back to me, of course.
But if I did that, which I can, you'd give me directions.
Shit.
Of course.
Fine. Give me the Esteban directions.
We can
The
help
Where the
quickest
fuck
way
is
to
Esteban?
Are you looking at my character?
Yeah.
Well, he looks back at you and goes, "How do you expect me to know?"
I don't know.
We've
You can use the
Been
map if you... You've probably been there. It's a decent-sized city.
we walked around.
You
so
walked
yeah.
around. Yeah, you've been...
Have I
In places.
have I had business in there?
It's pretty far south of where you would have had business.
I can show you on the map.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Oh,
we have a map! Why are we arguing
We got a
about
map.
this?
No, I'm just trying to think. I'm thinking my
Fancy
character
map.
probably wouldn't actually know where it is, at least how to get to it here.
Not in this plane.
No.
Why don't you just poof your way over there then?
And this
Um,
cult you speak of.
Well, that depends. I might be
Who the
able
fuck
to,
are they?
depending on... No, there's not a
Unless
gate
there's
close
a
enough.
gate in the town. She didn't
Well.
write where the gates were in town. So.
Not every town has one. That's just for me to know.
Oh man.
He goes,
The closest one.
they're a cult. They want to use the shard to likely, conquer large swaths of territory with its power. Which is why I want it back.
Can I ask what type of elemental chaos it uses?
The shard is a sort of handheld portal to the elemental chaos. It's able to unleash its power in controlled bursts, if used properly. If not used properly, it would almost certainly prove lethal to the wielder.
So what if you're just carrying it?
If you're just carrying it, it would be fine.
So you're telling me that we're not going to have any trouble whatsoever.
And he looks
with
in,
delivering
like
this
he
to
leans
you.
in at you, and he's like, "If you use it, you will die. If you don't use it, you'll probably be fine."
That's the thing, probably. Do I want to risk my life to say that I will probably be fine?
And he goes, "I trust you won't use it. Your companions, less sure about.
I won't use it, sir. Oh.
I don't think he's smart enough to use it."
Hey, don't say that about Tal.
Thank you. I have my bag. Yay. He's gonna start
Cry,
crying.
please.
I don't appreciate royals such as yourself. Or anyone rich, for
What the
that matter.
fuck?
Tal, stop.
I'd appreciate if you let us just get on with our business, and we will bring the shard back to you safe and sound.
Do you still want the reward? Shut up! Do you still want the reward?
He said it could be anything. Anything?
He did say
Within
something.
reason.
Oh.
I thought about all.
Then yes, we would like the reward afterwards.
Alright. I take it you two are a package deal. I can't have one without the other.
asking for like an orgy?
Gross!
Why you didn't even answer?
What I do in my spare time is for me and me alone to know.
Oops.
Besides, I'm asexual. Asexual beast.
Asexual god.
I was asking for dollars worth, but that's fine.
Maybe dollars worth answered. You just don't know it.
That was too good.
And you two. The weird ones.
I look up at his character.
What's this thing look like?
Pearl, really. Small black pearl. Not like the boat, just not that kind of black pearl.
Fine.
Disney's gonna sue us.
We can bleep it in
We're not
post.
sponsored
Yeah.
by
Yeah, other movie companies are available.
What's going on? What happened? I'm lost again.
I said yes.
You said yes? My character kind of shrugs and goes, well, I'm with him for the time being.
Alright. Then I do have something to make your journey a little bit easier. And he, reaches into his sleeve. Are you okay?
I'm really hoping it's what I think it is.
And pulls out a tiny gold bell with a dark
You
wooden
look
handle.
so sad now.
You look
With
angry,
a dark
actually.
handle.
It's very possible that it's the thing I want. I'm really.
And in gold writing on the side of it, it says service bell. And he hands it to you, and he says, "Don't use this inside."
Is it?
I take it. I take it immediately. I grab
the
it the
bell.
second he puts it even somewhat out.
Did it ring? Oh my
I'm
God, please.
across the other side of the room,
It
just fucking.
didn't. It dinged once.
No.
Tavi has a heart attack. He's dead.
Tavi's died.
And that was all from Tavi.
So
we don't even know each
he
other's
leans
names
in,
yet.
He leans in and goes, "The quickest way to Estvan would be as follows: Alaron, Riveron, Vaz, Mijel, and finally to Estvan."
Yeah, I don't know what anything you just said means, so we're
And
gonna
he,
follow wherever the
Pulls
fuck.
out a map. He's like, unless they've got one, you can use this.
We have plenty of maps.
They have
I
plenty of
take it
maps.
anyway.
You take the map anyways. It's a map. It's one map-alicious boy.
Well then.
Cool. Can we go now?
Is
Oh, actually, one more question.
I want peach juice. If y'all don't know about Tim Hortons peach juice, this is Hunter, not Mr. Dollarsworth. It is delicious. Oh my god.
It is like
We're
the
not
best.
sponsored by Tim Hortons.
I don't know.
or
He
their
works
peach
for Tim
juice.
Hortons, so
It's
used to work there.
so
sponsor
good.
us, Hunter.
I'll do it. It's so good. Oh my god.
Okay, except we're not sponsored by Timmy's yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Not yet.
Oh, sorry.
Occasionally it appears in our video.
So,
On accident.
All the time.
All the time. Constantly.
Sorry, continue.
let's say one of us used it successfully.
No.
This is being theoretical.
Okay.
What do you think would happen? Like, what is the damage we're looking at?
Well, it's certainly depends on how you use it. It could do anything from creating a spark to a tsunami.
Well, I was just about to say, what is the worst that could possibly happen?
You could, if used properly without destroying your own existence, possibly rip apart an entire continent.
Oh, well, nobody use it. And I'm looking at all of you. All of you. You. All of you. I needed to look at all of you to say that.
Okay.
Okay.
Is there anything else you'd like to ask?
Can we have dinner first?
Of
No.
course.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, where's the party?
Great.
Yeah.
Also, you said there was a reward for coming. Little. I think I read it right. Like.
In parentheses next to it, it says potentially. It's like, your reward can be dinner. And, of course, the bell. Again, do not, for the love of God, ring it inside.
I'm looking very tempted, but I don't.
My character's looking at yours, and he's like...
I'm holding it
He's
like
got this
below me
he's
because
got,
I know
like-
I can't hold it up.
He's got this grin on his face, and you know exactly the grin I'm talking about, and he's just...
No touching.
It's just a bell.
I think I know.
I swear to God, I will put sugar in my coffee.
It's just a bell. Food!
So he, like, stands up, and, like... And the doors swing open, and, like, some servants are like, right this way to the dining hall.
Yeah, I don't want to eat dinner with them.
Why not?
They're scary. Why did I do that? They're scary.
I'm not scary. Am I
Who's
scary?
scary?
Who's scary?
All of them.
All of who?
Them.
Why did you motion your eyes to them? They're not scary. They're also literally right in front of us.
They're also shorter than you.
Yeah, dollar's worth is like...
Tal, you're literally the tallest person in
I've been
here.
all the way down, so I'm like really close. They're scary.
I look at him and I wait till he makes eye contact and I just go,
I'm sorry.
Okay, well, I'm gonna follow a servant to food.
Alright.
Can we go?
Yeah, let's go. To food.
No.
Come on.
No.
I followed.
And
Who
like
are
dollars
you?
will put
Who
a
are
hand on
you?
your shoulder and he's like,
I jumped.
would you like chicken nuggets? We have chicken nuggets.
Fantasy chicken nuggets.
Fantasy
We're
chicken
not
nuggets.
sponsored by
From
chicken
Fantasy
nuggets.
Chickens.
Trademark.
By chicken nuggets, do you mean the entire chicken? Because that's what I eat.
Oh my
We can
gosh.
do that too.
Okay.
We can deep fry a whole chicken if you'd like.
Without the feathers.
My dude,
Yes, without
like
the
he
feathers.
like backs up away from you, like he looks very uncomfortable. He's very scared right now.
Yeah, this is.
Okay.
I'd say my character probably has like a hand on his shoulder, but like from his mouth, you can
thought
tell.
you meant
he-
my character, and I was
no,
like,
his character.
We can deep fry.
Well, he'd have his hand up here.
Okay, I'm gonna walk away and I'm gonna stand on the opposite side of the hall from him.
Okay.
I'm motioning for Fee to hold my hand. My gigantic hand.
I take your hands.
Gigantic half orc.
So you're like on your tippy toes,
Yes.
and I'm like,
I take your hand and I walk you over to that dude and I say, Talvi, this is somebody. What's your name?
Well, which one are you going with?
I look just as uncomfortable with him as he does with me.
Nice to meet you. I'm Fia.
Oh no, find him. Linus? Linus. Linus.
That's a very lovely name. You,
It's a
who are
name.
you? I'm Fia.
I commonly go by Tawdre. Tawdre, yes. I know what my name is. I commonly go by Tawdre.
It doesn't sound like you know your name, Tawdre. I'm gonna name you Todd.
No, he
Alright,
gets that
Lion
same
Deja
like
vu.
he gets like that same mischievous smirk on his face, and he's like, "I'm not quite sure that you want to do that."
Lion and Todd.
I'm like standing behind him and going,
Okay then, Ray. Tawdre, Ray. You're Ray and you're a lion. I'm Fia. I pulled out my
who's the
hand.
big fella?
This is Talvi. I call him Tal. Because, well, no, I would say like tall.
I hope the
Not-
mic
no,
picked
Tal.
that up. So
Tal, tall, Tal.
I said
say
because he's tall.
Yes.
For all-
This is
for
I
all-
Tal.
actually made that joke the other day. We're
I
like,
don't call him that because he's tall. His name is Talvi. I call him Tal. You have to call him Talvi. He gets
Okay.
very bright.
I don't know. I was thinking of a name
Cool.
of a human name. And I was like,
Talvi. Tal.
Are you still standing
Yeah.
behind me?
Alexander Louis
I've
Armstrong.
moved back next to you. But like slightly, like glowering over your shoulder.
You
Yeah.
suck at
I'm
that.
confused.
My name is Callista.
Calista.
Like barista?
Oh, like barista.
I didn't say that in character, by the way.
Double shots.
Too late.
No, because my character wouldn't know what a barista is. I'm not sure.
Calista
Fair point.
and
Fantasy barista from Fantasy Starbucks.
In the fantasy Feywild.
I'm a fantasy coffee
I'm
artist.
It's
Yes.
fantasy Starbucks run
I'm
by
pretty
actual
sure
mermaids.
the microphone didn't pick that up.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay, so what is your name? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
The fantasy microphone.
The fantasy microphone didn't hear.
The non-fantasy region.
you guys missed the greatest thing of the world.
Do we want to read
Yeah.
that? Okay, so I was reaching my hand out to like shake their hand, and they kept backing away, so I'd move my hand back, and they'd come closer again. And then we kept doing that back and forth, and then all of a sudden my character just goes.
That still doesn't help people who are
They blew a
listening to
kiss.
this.
I just went. Mwah!
Like extravagantly blew a
Fuck outta
kiss.
here.
Yeah, you know, imagine you're listening at home. It's like, and I went, what? What is this? What?
Yeah.
What's the kid's name?
What? My name?
Fia is not a kid. I can't look at you in the eyes.
Yeah, I'm Fia.
Fia is
You
not a
don't
kid.
have to look up. I'm below you. You can look straight.
Fia
Hello?
is a
I have that
halfling.
problem.
A what?
Halfling. I'm a halfling.
Cool.
Fia Cinderheart. What's your
And
name?
the rest of you weirdos.
Skythos.
Kaitos.
You can call me Kai.
Oh,
Hi,
yeah,
hello.
that's right.
It's very nice to meet you. You two are much more formal than those idiots over there.
Oof.
Fia.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call you idiots. I only just met you right now, so I can't tell if you're stupid.
So Dollarsworth is like,
Very
and
good.
we all know Mr. Dollarsworth. Hello,
No,
Mr.
I'm so
Dollarsworth.
confused on who
I
he
feel
is.
sorry for Fia.
Why?
I'm never getting the
Because you
okay.
just called my character an idiot.
I'm never
Uh-huh.
getting the shard back.
No, except like.
And he's
What?
he's
The
a
shard's
trickster
gone.
cleric.
What does that mean?
The shard's
He
gone.
goes, fuck you!
The shard's gone. I lost the shard.
We were at least
I-
Walking out.
I slap him
So-
on the back like those congratulatory, like when you've won a baseball game or something. They walk off, they go whack, just whack you on the back, and then I walk past him into the dining room.
So yeah, at this point you guys are in the dining room. It's big and beautiful and bougie.
That was good. Thank you.
You're welcome. It's a very nice dining room. There's like a whole feast array. There's all kinds of different foods. On one plate, you see there's just a whole deep fried chicken.
I look
That's
absolutely horrified. Is there any like lettuce? Like
Lettuce?
There's
salad?
lettuce.
Is there sweets?
Yeah, there's like Turkish delight and chocolate.
Yay.
Do they have cake?
They have cake.
Okay,
They
I
make
take
a piece of
I
cake
take
to
a
make it
bowl
pretty
of salad and the entire cake.
And my
It is
character kind of
Too
looks
heavy to lift. It's like a wedding cake times 2. Like you
I'm gonna
cannot.
like drag the thing
Wait,
as far
You're
away
like
as
ruining the tablecloth and knocking things over, and Dollars Worth is like, what the fuck?
My character, no, my character comes over and tries to help you move the cake.
We're just gonna move it to the opposite side that the chicken is on.
Excuse
Yeah.
me, weird people, can I have a piece of cake?
You're eating chicken.
You don't have to say weird people. You know their names now.
I forgot.
Ray
Oh,
and
no.
Lion.
Lionel.
Linus.
Linus.
Can I have a piece of cake, please?
You're so fucking dead.
There's a small one. Cherry, maybe?
If you don't eat the chicken.
Is there anything that I can like add to the cake that would make it disgusting?
I have a bag of salt.
It's just a plate. Like, think of a food. Think of a food.
He called me weird.
Think of a thing.
So,
Think of a
like,
food. Like gravy. There's gravy. Peas. There's peas.
Kate, can I borrow
Okay,
your
no.
salt?
We'll have like proper thing. There's probably a salt thing on the table.
There's salt shakers.
I take a piece of cake, put an entire thing of salt on it, then hand it to his character.
And I'll look down to the salt and go, thank you.
And I'll sigh
Roll
and I'll get
Constitution.
you a proper
Roll Constitution.
and I'll keep it low so like cover it and then I'll like slide it across the table to you.
16.
16.
It's good.
This is very
good.
good. Thank you for adding whatever you put onto it.
Yes, it's special
And
sauce.
Mr. God damn it. Mr. Linus.
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 Yeah.
Why can't I eat the chicken?
I mean, like, why would you want to eat a chicken?
It's
Audio.
Why
It's meat.
would you want to eat a chicken? What have you got against birds?
I don't. I'm sorry.
Fine, eat the chicken. I
No,
don't care.
I
It's
won't
not like
anymore.
I don't care about the chicken. I don't care about the chicken. And I hand you an actual plate of cake, unsalted.
I eat that. Does it taste worse?
Tastes like cake.
Tastes like cake.
Tastes like cake minus salt.
Wait, does your
Minus
character
salt.
actually look upset, Rhys?
Yeah, see, it looks very, very upset.
Okay, mine like puts his arm around Rhys's character. He's consoling him. I know.
I don't
Understand
understand
these people.
I would
I don't
just said that
understand them
to
either.
We do. We say it at the exact same time. I don't understand these people.
So Dollars Worth just looks defeated. Like he's
I
like,
tried to have a good dinner, and honestly,
I'm feeling so unattacked right now. I can fix that.
no, don't. Okay.
Thea, can we go now? I'm done eating.
She's like shoving food in her mouth.
Okay. never
Politely.
mind.
politely
She's like-
shoving.
She's eating,
She like
she's
waits
eating
till
very
nobody's
quickly.
looking, and then she's like,
She's eating very quickly.
so do you have a nice meal or do you continue bickering?
Nice
My
meal.
character leans across the table to I blanked on their name.
Tommy.
Tavi. And it's just like, why in such a rush to leave?
I got social anxiety. That's why my voice is so high.
Tal, it's fine. Tal,
There's
Tal.
no reason to be upset.
I
I can stop talking if you
Yeah.
prefer.
No offense.
Tal,
Yeah.
they're fine. We introduced each other. Don't close the laptop.
The fantasy laptop.
fantasy
Please
laptop.
stay in character.
Don't
Stop
close the-
metagaming.
Don't close the fantasy laptop sitting between us.
Very scared.
I'd like to imagine there's like a servant sitting in between you two, like
And his name is Laptop.
as you're just talking across him. He's like, So, Dollars Worth, you finish your meal with minimal bickering. Dollars Worth is like, can you leave now?
Yes,
Would that be
I'm
too
sorry.
much dance?
Sure.
It's okay. It's okay.
Whenever he speaks, I just realized it goes all the way up.
Yes, I appreciate you.
I'm probably patting his elbow, but
So,
not even my
so
elbow.
this is the first time that you two have stood close to each other because like he was way down the hallway before and then sitting down. He's like 6'5".
Oh, hello. How do you do? This is my regular voice, actually.
He's like, it's beautiful.
Thank you, I'm not gay, no homo.
The cookie!
No homo, Cookie.
What? Who?
You may hold the cookie until someone else says no homo.
Who suggested
I
they
can't.
ice a cookie that says no homo?
I specifically asked Jasper to ice me a cookie that said no homo.
Why?
Because
Stop.
I made a joke about him making me cookies, and then he said,
So
"But
you
I'm
get
not gay,
outside.
no homo."
You're on the steps up to the Dollarsworth mansion. Some like butlers are standing outside. They've closed the doors behind you.
Okay, sure, just
Not good for you.
bling.
You ring the bell.
I ring the bell.
So it's a little bit later, 9 o'clock, like 9:30ish. But the sun is still visible, although it's like sunset, and the sky darkens. Like it's like storm clouds. They're swirling right above.
What is this?
Lionheart.
Linus.
I knew that wasn't it.
Though that's
like
actually
they're
fairly close to
swirling,
what it means.
and like there's thunder and like lightning, and like the clouds sort of funnel
I'm
down into a
Fucking
point,
terrified.
like pointed away from the door, and there's like this multicolored portal, and you just hear "Wahoo!" and like like explosion of light. This bright red chariot drawn by 8 white horses flies out of the portal. It's got like gold trimming and gold wheels. On the side there's big like it looks like circus. There's like big gold letters that say Mr. Tipper's traveling cart, and it's been painted on in gold, and there's like it's piloted by a frog in a suit.
Rhys is fucking pumped, but Linus is fucking terrified. Like he's cowering on the
like
ground.
it like skids across
fucking
the
hates
and like the servants are like as
Oh
it's like skidding across the ground, and like the frog reaches over and like pulls an emergency brake, and it swings around and like tips and stops, and there's like lights shimmering and everywhere, and the frog just looks at you and is like, where do you want to go?
What?
It's fucking Horatio, bitches!
Oh my god.
That was gonna be horrible for fucking audio, Rhys.
I'm so sorry to anyone listening right now. I have been hiding this secret from Jasper for the past like 2.5 weeks. Everyone else knew, so don't be angry at me.
Oh.
Remember when you were sitting
yeah.
on the
It's a
bed,
salamander.
and I was
Not a
sitting
frog.
next to you, and I said, Rhys is gonna do something, and you're gonna be mad.
And then Jeremy
And you were
hops
like,
in
what's he
the
gonna
back.
do? And I said, well, I can't really tell you. And you said, okay.
Take my Reese's Pieces.
I don't want your
Love me.
So
I'll
yeah.
take those reasons.
So I guess it's a salamander, not a frog, but same thing. He just like, where you want to go?
Hey, did
What
anyone
the heck?
write down the
No.
like order? You
No.
said?
It's on the map.
I can reread it if you'd like.
Yeah.
Esteban.
Someone write
So-
this down because I don't have paper.
So
Why don't we just travel to Esteban then?
he goes, Esteban's a long way. Cart won't make it. You've got 8 hours. Then this thing is gone.
Okay, give me
He's a
the
very blunt
Give me the
salamander.
I'm sorry. It just,
love him.
it just
Alaron,
Alaron,
Okay, let's take our part.
Riverone,
Riverome,
Vaz.
Vaz,
What?
Stop.
Oh, that. Okay.
Migel with a
Pass
G
me
and
that
a J.
plate,
Migel.
my.
Yes, that plate. That specific plate.
What the fuck did you do?
They put a no homo cookie on it.
No.
I sorted the Reese's Pieces into nice little honeycombs.
Great.
Have you written that?
I wrote my
And
thing.
finally, Esteban.
Okay. Esteban Julio Ricardo Rignorous.
Not a single one.
That is via Cinderheart for you.
Jason is gonna cry.
You made me spit up
Can
my
I have my Reese's Pieces?
I gotta say
Oh, we're not sponsored by Reese's Pieces.
Hey, my Pieces will
hey,
sponsor
but
anyone.
Reese's, if you're listening to this, consider a sponsorship.
We're not sponsored by Reese's Pieces. We are, however, sponsored by Rhys.
And his pieces.
Reese. Did nobody else hear that?
I heard it.
I heard
We
it.
all heard it.
I'm just choosing not to respond.
Finger
I
guns.
just choose to be disappointed in silence.
Yeah, so the salamander is still sitting there. It's like, where you want to go?
Alaron.
Are you still cowering?
Oh yeah, no, he's fucking... Is the thunderstorm over?
It is dispersed now.
Okay, no then. He's fucking terrified of thunder. He doesn't like storms.
Oh yeah, that's yeah.
He goes, okay. Climb in the back, and like the door swings open, and inside it's like nice white
Skyrim.
plush seats. Climb in back, and we'll be off.
Yeah.
And like, there's only doors on one side because in like a U shape around the rest of this carriage is like nice, comfy seats.
Okay, except I shouldn't drink and drive.
I'll drive, don't worry.
Okay.
Can I fit in?
It's a tight squeeze a little bit while you're getting in, but it's a little bit spacious on the
I
inside.
don't want to go in.
Are there windows?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to get in and roll down every single window that I can.
They've got like the hand crank, so you gotta like.
Well,
One by one, just
Yeah.
all of the windows are down as far as they can
I'm
go.
helping.
I'd
It goes a bit faster.
rather
You take
go
that side, I'll
with
take this side.
Yeah.
Okay.
and not split an entire
I'm pretty
continent
sure
in
neither of
half.
us like being in enclosed spaces.
Do they know us?
Do they? Probably not.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. Do they know me?
I don't know.
I don't know
Do I
them.
know you or know you?
You know me.
Yes.
Do they know you? Do you know them?
No.
You
Then they
could know
probably
me.
Don't know you.
I didn't hear that.
What?
You could know me.
I'm like, you could know
So,
me.
the
Was that
frog,
towards me or towards
the
you?
salamander who has introduced himself as Mr. Tipper, like blinks individually with each eye slowly.
And we could get to go to him. It's an 8-hour drive. That's not what
Can I sit next to him?
On like the front of the carriage? Yeah, if you want to.
Okay, I think that's...
Are you leaving me in the
Oh no.
inside? Am
Can
I
we both fit? No. Okay, fine, I'll sit inside then. But like, I'm gonna find like a corner and like just the biggest area that I can, sit cross-legged, but like off the seat. Like, I'm still on it, but like I'm not leant against the back.
Okay.
I don't like leaning against chairs. So weird.
You should go in the middle.
Why the middle?
Is there enough room for my character to like lay down?
Because
Maybe on the floor,
I don't know
not on
you.
the seats.
Can I like sit on the floor and lean against his legs?
Yes.
Okay.
I have social anxiety.
Okay, then you can sit in the window
I sit
seat.
beside you.
Sure. You can try the window seat, yeah.
What's a window?
No, shit.
Okay.
That's the window seat. Oh no.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, like pulls out common to orc.
Window!
Window, what do you speak of?
Um,
Window.
You find a word for it. Hole in wall.
Oh,
okay.
Hole in wall, not to be confused with door.
Smaller hole in wall than door.
Yes.
Or bigger, much bigger.
And you're like,
Depends
oh,
on door.
halfling door.
yes. I understand. And then I switched to the very small part on like halfling in the back. Oh, window. Door?
Yeah, you can sit by the door.
I didn't think like language was gonna be such a barrier.
Okay, we haven't even done any of our shit.
Yeah.
Most of us don't have common as a first language.
Common is my 5th language.
Tabby will get in and sit by the window.
You sit by the window, as you have heard others pronounce it.
Uh-huh.
What have you two been up to?
You're not even in yet. I'm just like,
Discussing?
We've been discussing whether or not we should take our cart instead.
Okay, I
Just, like, hitch
look
them up,
over,
train
I look
style.
out the window, like
It's not.
past Talby, and I'm just like, hey, you wanna come sit with us?
Tabby's like doing like the typical.
Yeah, I'm leaning forward and he's leaning back, and I'm like, come sit with us.
It's like just your hand out the window. You're too
Yeah.
short. There's like a tiny hand.
Can I stand up to make them see?
Yeah, you stand on the seat.
Okay. Tiptoe.
Mr. Tipper, you hear him stand on my seat from like the front of the carriage.
I slowly sit down and brush
Hey guys,
the
we've
seat
got
off.
8 hours with this thing. Let's go.
He like pulls out a pocket watch.
That's just Rhys.
We go
Rhys
and
is
we sit
impatient.
beside them.
Yo, crossover pocket watch. It's the same one Monty has. He like puts it away.
Oh no!
Now I'm gonna have to make the pocket watch important again.
Are you two gonna take
We
this
sit
one?
we sit
Okay.
next to them.
Okay.
But what about your caravan? I'm unhappy now.
You're what?
There's nothing of value in it.
There's everything of value in it.
Probably
It's
like
our
18
only
violent
way
points.
everywhere.
Well, you got this magical.
Now
Actually,
we have
first,
Horatio.
can I go and talk to him and ask if there's a way that we could hook up ours to his?
And he goes, you got a wagon? I could get one of my brothers to take it.
His brothers.
There's more
You don't want to be
salamanders.
riding in the front. Technically, it would be locked. But not in the
Come on, it'll be fun.
Yes, your brother can ride it.
And he goes, "Rah!" And like this other portal opens, and like a frog, not well dressed, like it's just Mr. Tipper but without the suit, and like it looks dumb, like its eyes are not focusing in the same place. And it's like, and he's like, look at me, look at me, look at me, and he like smacks it, and it's like, and he's like, wagon, take it, do not enter, take wagon, follow. It's like, yeah. It's like, no. Follow. It's like, beep. And like it dashes off with incredible speed, and a few seconds later, your wagon comes screeching up behind ours.
These are Mad Max. Oh wait, shit. Copyright. We're not sponsored.
It's sponsored by Mad Max. Sponsored by, let's see, Disney, Reese's Pieces, Mad Max, and Apple
Hortons.
Juice, and Tim Hortons. Yeah.
So many sponsors.
Before we drive it, he already got his brother. We should be respectful and give him.
I still have my wine glass. I am.
You stole the wine glass.
Oh no! Sorry, then I guess I took the sugar. Just
Okay.
like a handful of the sugar.
You have a handful of sugar.
Oh no, we walked out with the wine glasses.
You walked out with the wine glasses.
I'm reading
Mr.
the book.
Dollar's selling them, but he doesn't care.
Those are the cheap wine glasses.
Those are the cheap $1,000 wine glasses.
Everything's got a cheap version.
That's true.
I
That we
mean,
have $1,000 wine
We don't really
glasses.
care about money, so
Yeah, everything's cheap. version.
everything's cheap.
Ow, okay. Okay, great.
So are you all in the wagon?
You two
Yeah.
are sitting in the front?
No,
We're
No.
sitting.
Oh, you're sitting with us. Oh.
I found
No.
a corner.
Oh, okay.
He's sitting in a corner. He's sitting on the floor, leant up against him.
Okay.
I'm reading a book.
He's reading a book, the Holy
It
Bible.
is very obviously not
We're
common.
not sponsored
50
by
Shades
the
of
Holy
Grey.
Bible. We're
I-
not sponsored by 50 Shades of Grey.
I am practicing how to pick locks.
How to basic.
I am practicing how to pick locks.
You're
How to be a
practicing.
basic bitch.
Just have a lock, you keep
Volume
locking and
3.
unlocking.
Yeah,
I'm like watching you, but also not at the same time. I'm like,
I'm a
Yeah, like
cleric.
out of the corner of his eye, he's like,
And it's like clearly not in a language you know.
oh yeah.
and
What-
Mr. Tipper's like, okay, and he like cracks the reins, and these 8 horses just take off, and the wagon begins flying down the street.
Literally flying down the street?
No,
Okay.
it's
How
moving
Richard
like
Train.
there are
He's
people
already
like
read about it.
screaming and diving out of the way as it just thunders down. With your wagon, you didn't think it could move this fast, but somehow it is keeping up, piloted by Mr. Tipper's
Frog.
slightly dumb brother.
I am trying to stay calm as this thing moves at a incredibly fast pace.
Yeah, it's like moving at like 100 kilometers an hour down like narrow winding
I'm
streets.
very nervously talking to Talby, like,
I'm like,
so,
I'm
do you
holding,
wanna- do you
I'm
wanna-
holding Fia's hand. I'm like,
Yeah, I'm like, so do you want to go over your halfling again or something? We can do that.
Unbelievably like calm, but fucking nothing phases me right now.
My character climbs up onto the seat to watch the chaos.
You watch the chaos. Like the town gates are being closed for the night, and he just like, and like the thing books it, and like you can see like it just barely dodges like the spikes of the gate, and your wagon also manages to slip through, and the guards are like, "What? Wait, you got a license for those?" But it is gone.
Hunter, I love this. Thank you.
You
Gotta have license plates.
The inside of my
Yeah,
wagon
so
is
I have written here, the route to Oleron can be bypassed using Mr. Tipper. So I'm just gonna skip like these 7 paragraphs I wrote. So, you guys are traveling by night. As it gets darker, Mr. Tipper, like the thing's still moving. Now it's moving faster, like 150 kilometers an hour. And he just like lets go of the reins, and he's like trying to strike a match, but it keeps going out of him, until finally he does, and he lights some lanterns on the front of the thing. And then he fumbles around and picks the reins back up and starts paying attention again.
Well-trained horses.
Distracted driving, I don't like it. Fantasy distracted driving.
Yeah, he's got a fantasy DUI.
Calvin's just looking at Theo like, window.
So,
Can we please do a constitution check because of all that wine I drank?
Oh no.
Can we
Yes.
please
Yes.
like envision just like some like calm forest? There's just like the fantasy police.
Yeah, it's
sitting
like,
there.
it's like,
and they fucking
it's like speedometer like error, and they're like, what?
the speedometer just blows up.
Though,
There's such a trail
though
of fire
considering
after it.
this, I just realized my character's probably laughing manically and looking at yours and going, "This is the most fun I've had in a while," but not like in common.
Oh, there's a dog.
Okay, I've got a 16 for constitution.
You're feeling all right.
Okay,
You're not throwing up all over the place.
goodness.
Hold on, I found a dog. Just need a dog.
Jojo,
Check
small puppy.
Need a dog break. So, you
Mushroom.
ride all night, and just at like the crack of dawn,
I don't know.
the thing
I don't know if that was copyright
like
or not.
scrapes into Alaron, like and like drifts up to the side, and then like tips a little bit. It's about to tip over, and then it's like and falls back down, and he's like, "You're here."
Thank you. I get out.
You were dizzy.
Okay, next on this list here,
Oh my god.
Horatio, Mr. Tipper is River Roam. Let's go.
Won't be able to reach it. Your 8 hours are gonna be up soon.
Couldn't even carry us down the street. Fine. Get out the car.
I'm
We
with
get
Theo.
out.
He gets out.
I'm vomiting on the side though.
Your wagon
I'm
pulls up
patting
like
you
a
back.
couple of
Yeah,
seconds later.
you have to hold my hair
And
back.
like
I'm
does like this hairpin break, goes from like 120 to 0.
It's gonna be a mess inside.
You're worried about the mess inside? Boy, you should see the outside of here. He's puking up a
looks-
storm.
You're
looks
holding my
nice.
hair as if like the drunk girls in the toilet.
Yeah, I'm like, don't worry, it'll be
Yeah,
fine.
he's throwing up.
It's like
Kalista
down on
very
his
politely like tries to grab the brother and just kind of be like, come down.
He's like, "Eh," and just like waddles idly.
She says, thank you, bye-bye.
And he's like, "Eh," and just disappears. Like, puff of smoke. And Mr. Tipper's like, okay. And like cracks the whip, and like the same multicolored portal opens as before, and the wagon just shoots into it and disappears.
So what do we do with this wagon, guys?
Are we getting on front? I'm assuming we're driving.
So we're in a city?
Your Alaron is like more like a small
Oh, you
town.
have horses, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, it's this one's still like city-esque.
Sure.
Not as big as Vanguard, but like still city-ish. And you like wheeled up to like the main gates of the town.
Put on your glasses. I can read fun.
Put on your glasses.
You can't see without glasses.
Drop.
Come on!
Drop said glasses.
Drop said
Oh my
glasses
god.
twice.
I'm sorry.
I went to lean down and they leaned down and went, whack!
Oh.
I'm just checking it.
So the gates have like, it looks like they just opened up, and like people are starting to go about their days. It's kind of early in the morning.
Okay, also I will say, we've been recording for an hour and 38 minutes. If we
You
want
want a break?
We want to
if
break.
we want to pause this one and
That's
go
a good
back to
time
it,
for
or
a
a break,
pause.
that too.
A break.
Let's break.
Real quickly.
Okay.
Cool, we'll be back soon with more of this adventure.
Oh yeah.
Of this adventure, air quotes.
Air quotes.